Alright, how do you get the Dungeons and Combat mod for Minecraft? Well, here we are, okay? Getting this mod is pretty simple. It's said to be one of the best RPG mods that Minecraft has, so that's what we'll do. Check it out. And it's a mod that adds more than 15 structures to the game. We understand that dungeons, from the name of the mod, also includes over 30 mobs and more than 10 minerals with tons of armor varieties, crafting recipes, and even decorative blocks. So anyway, I have no choice but to review it, and we'll start with how to get the mod. Simply search for Dungeons and Combat, go to Files, and as you can see, it has 1.3 million users. It was released on October 27th, 2024. Today marks 1 year since yesterday, okay? And its latest update was on October 9th, 2025. And well, we just click on mod loaders, forge, all types of versions, and we click the 3 buttons and then get file. We'll save this file by pressing Windows plus R, going to app data, then roaming, Minecraft, and finally the mods folder. Next, we have the relationships section, which shows required dependencies like Curious API and GeckoLib, which are mandatory for the mod. Okay, so once we have all these mods, we save them by pressing Windows plus R, typing appdata, roaming.minecraft, and placing them in the mods folder. If that folder doesn't exist, right-click, select new, and create a folder named mods. Okay, that's it, it's that simple. How can we get steel in the Dungeons and Combat mod? Well, basically, steel ingots are easily found in the lugubrious catacomb structures. Let's locate one. For example, this structure here where we'll find spawners and different loot. Here we have a steel tool, for example. Here we have steel inside the chest inventory. Here's another chest, a bit more hidden. Well, not really. Here are more chests, right below the catacombs, pretty typical. And, well, tons of chests and loot where we can get steel in these types of structures. And also in this other one, the Field of the Fallen, which looks like this, okay? Here we can also get steel, I believe, through the chests as well, right? So if we look here, for example, there's a chest, see? You'll need to search thoroughly to find chests, but look, titanium, for example. But if they're not visible, they'll be underneath the structures, got it? Generally, these types of mods always hide the ingots, or rather resources, this way. So yeah, it's that simple. Collecting steel is essential for progressing in the mod, as it lets us craft armor or upgrade our tools and more, okay? Make a blazing ingot, so we'll definitely need it. Okay, how can we find silver in the Dungeons and Combat mod? Well, basically, silver appears naturally in this ore form that we're seeing here in layers 32 down to -64 in the underground. Silver, when combined with gold ingots, lets you create silver equipment or special foods like the silver orange here and the silver carrot. It also allows us to make our own gear and is a mid-tier resource between iron and gold in terms of power. Today we'll see how to get bronze in the Dungeons and Combat mod. Well, basically, to get bronze or bronze ingots, we need to defeat a remnant, okay? This bug here that we're looking at. So when we defeat this creature, it should drop copper or rusty frozen plates that we use to make copper ingots. Makes sense that this bug spawns everywhere, right? Or maybe there's some kind of structure. Well, we have the remnant camp and the remnant watchtower, okay? Which we can access. This one is 91 blocks away, okay? Here we have the remnant camp, where we can also find bronze ingot. I don't see any enemies here. And then the Remnant Watchtower, which is 379 blocks away. Before traveling, I'll look down in case there's a hidden chest that isn't visible. I mention this because this creator likes to hide things. And then there's the Watchtower, this tower here where we have a chest on top. Here there is a remnant, and below I don't see anything. So we have this other chest where we could get bronze, which is a great starter option before moving to advanced metals. The chest plate has 6 armor points, so it offers quite a lot of protection. So that's it. It's that simple. Hey, how can we get blazing ingots in Minecraft with Dungeons and Combat? Well, basically blazing ingots are found in the Blazing Fortress, okay? This is located in the Nether. So let's go there and find a blazing fortress, okay? So you can see the structure. It's this right here. It appears in a somewhat crude way from what I'm seeing, okay? And well, this is theoretically where you get these types of ingots, okay? Either by defeating the blazing ladies, from what I can see. Let's see. I don't know if these currently drop experience or if they can drop ingots. Well, they're giving me dark steel, and I understand we'll find them in chests, okay? So we need to collect the blazing core around here, okay? The blaze powder and the molten bone. These materials allow us to craft slightly more advanced weapons, okay? There we have the molten bone, which is used for skeletons or other more advanced things. The blazing core, the igneous. We understand all these can be found here in chests. I'll try to find one to simply see what kind of loot we might get. The problem is, for some reason, I can't find any chests. Look, here's one. Let's open it. There you have it, okay? Igneous. Here we have more steel ingots, igneous too. Okay? Even more light. Well, we're seeing there's quite a bit of loot, huh? here's another chest too, so I don't think you'll have any trouble getting this type of resource. And we also have igneous ore here. So yeah, obviously it's a pretty complicated structure. As you can see, it's quickly filled up with mobs. Also, there seems to be a pyronite here, which means there's a boss. So that's it, it's that simple. Hey, how do you get molten dark steel? This element here, molten dark steel, is obtained by defeating the pyronite. Basically, when you defeat this creature, the guardian of the blazing fortress. This is a blazing fortress, okay? It's found here in this structure. We'd find it right there in the center. If we defeat it, it'll drop that resource. It can also appear as nuggets, okay? This material upgrades equipment, increasing its durability and power. It's an advanced category metal, right? I'm trying to find a chest, just in case you see me acting a bit weird, okay? Just to show you that, yes, it does appear in nugget form, alright? I saw it earlier, not sure where. There are more chests up here, in case you haven't seen them. Missing table. Look, molten bones, see? So now the million-dollar question, how do we defeat this guy, right? Let's try it out and see what it does. I've put the spawn point here, and theoretically... No, this isn't the structure. Which one is it? Oh yes, it's here, but upstairs. Okay, so I'm going to switch to survival mode. I have 6.5 hearts of armor. Neither nor... Oh look, see? The molten dark steel was on my cursor. I'm going to equip a shield. I'll use the shield they give you at the start, which I think, well, it's not this one, but still, it's a shield. And now I'll switch to survival. Let's see what attacks it does. It burns me. It just took 1 life point and it really hits hard. How much damage have we done with all that? I think it regenerates too, huh? We took 4 of its health, it killed us, it burns us. So we should get fire immunity, we should get better armor, okay? Don't worry, this mod has you more than covered for armor, since that's literally what it's about. But I just wanted to see a bit of PvP and what effects it has, and that seems to be what it does, right? If I apply the resistance effect now and start fighting it, we can see if PvP improves a bit. I'm telling you, I'm attacking with gear that's worse than iron, okay? It's normal that I'm getting beaten up like this. On the other hand, I think his range is less than mine, right? If I stand here, I can hit him without him hitting me at all. Let's see, he can't come in here? Ah, yes. Oh no, he has a longer range. From there, he's hitting me, for example. But it's weird because if I go higher, he can't hit me. Like, if I climb up to these corners, I can hit him without him hitting me. Now he's hitting me. No, see, if I can position myself here. Oh my goodness. Hey, why do I always find these mods? I need to find a way to break everything. It's also true that we need to be careful because the outside area would need to be completely cleared. It seems designed on purpose, that you can take cover here. But since the blazing ladies are outside, well, that's that. So... Anyway, there you have it, okay? If you want, we can defeat him real quick. And there he goes. And the drop he gives us is all this, okay? Armor plates, missing tables, templates, status flask, and a really cool armor, okay? And blazing core, so that's it, there you have it. I'm going to show you how to find titanium in Minecraft with dungeons and combat. Basically, titanium appears from layer 5 down to -64. In fact, we're already seeing this deep slate variant, which indicates we're at a deeper level, and it outperforms diamond, though it's inferior to netherite, okay? It's very useful for crafting high-speed tools and armor with great resistance to physical damage. We definitely need a diamond pickaxe to mine it, okay? Let's look at its uses, though I've already covered most of them, right? With all the tools and such. Then we have the option to convert a titanium greatsword to deal 1.5 less damage, but gain 0.2 more attack speed. It says two-handed there, so I'm not sure how much of an improvement that really is, but there you have it. So how can we create crimson ingots in Minecraft with dungeons and combat? Well, basically, the crimson ingot is crafted by combining raw iron, right? With raw, I mean, it's crafted from raw crimson, okay? But raw crimson is made by mixing raw iron, blood vial, and ebony raw ore scrap. Its main use is upgrading netherite equipment by giving it bloody effect. It's a key component for reaching the mod's maximum offensive power. Okay, so if we click on utility here, as you can see, we can view all these effects that let us improve the ebony armor a bit. We're talking about stronger levels here with sizes, abilities and such, with bleeding effects and so on. So yeah, it's a slightly more advanced material. And the blood vial, for those who don't know how to get it, comes from any blood-related structure or blood creature, okay? You basically defeat them and they'll drop this item. It's actually quite a common item. Alright, how do you create blessed gold in Minecraft with dungeons and combat? Well, basically the blessed gold ingot is crafted, as you'll see, with diamonds, Egyptian fragments, right? Or solar emblems and sandstone ingot. This equipment grants positive effects during daytime like strength or regeneration, and represents the divine aspect of the mod versus the corrupted or blood metals. The sandstone ingot is made with blessed dust, gold ingot, and sandstone. The blessed dust isn't clearly explained where to get it, but we understand it's from desert structures since it relates to Egyptian themes. And regarding the solar emblem, There's not much explanation in the complete guide provided by the mod, but we can assume you get it by fighting some boss in a desert structure. Alright, so in the Dungeons and Combat mod, how do we choose our class? Well, choosing a class in Dungeons and Combat mode is as simple as creating a new game, okay? Oh, but is there a way to change characters within an existing game? First, normally in an RPG, when you create a world, you create a character that can't be modified, meaning its class can never be changed. But if we use the combat style manual with a book and an iron sword, theoretically, we should be able to do it by right-clicking, okay? So we can see the Forgotten Knight has a passive ability that says, at half health, you gain resistance 1, and it has significant strength, 1.4 strength, 4 swing damage, and 2 armor. So we see we have the Vagabond, which is just like this, okay? I mean, it has nothing positive, it's for if we want to start with nothing. We have the Titan, which has reduced speed, a 3.85 swing, and is immune to negative combat effect. We have the Oni Slayer, okay? Which basically says, leaves a death mark that deals damage while the effect lasts, an effect like a poison effect. And then the Bounty Hunter, okay? That, well, at half health you'll gain strength 1. And then we have the Mage that says, magic attacks have 10% additional damage. And that's it. And the Rogue, okay? That with 30 crouches you'll become invisible, okay? So let's pick Rogue. Let's see. Boom. We're invisible. You see it. And it's as simple as getting that book, okay? Which they theoretically give you at the start of the mod, okay? This one, the combat style manual. Theoretically, they give it at the beginning of the mod, and that's it. There you have it. Alright, so to continue, let's talk about how to fight Kamoth, okay? First, I want to explain my approach to this guide. There are many different items in this mod, and I could cover how to get each one individually. For example, how to get blood vials from blood monsters, or molten bones from the nether, and so on. But I think most items are fairly intuitive to obtain, and the magic of an RPG is actually the opposite. It's about using the items you find to create equipment that makes you stronger, rather than specifically hunting for particular items to craft certain armor. Anyway, I'll try to cover the drops from each structure within the guide, especially the most important ones, and we can assume that most items are obtained either by killing mobs or looting chests. For example, if we defeat the skull mimic, it will drop any type of mimic item, okay? Like the mimic eye or its tongue, right? With these we can craft utility items, but obviously I don't want this guide to last 45 minutes, which it might already. That said, how do we get to or fight Kamoth? Well, Kamoth is this boss here with 320 health, okay? This creature is super aggressive. I spawned it in the center there, and it came all the way here because it spotted a zombie. See? That's the level of aggression we're talking about. I think it has a detection radius of maybe 50 to 100 blocks, and it's not slow. So how do we spawn it? Well, basically we need to locate this structure called the Ruins of Kamoth. In this structure, we're going to find there's some runes, okay? We'll be able to find different mobs, and there will also be loot in chests, okay? So you can see, well, pretty basic loot, I must say, compared to other structures, and considering this is a boss fight. Or maybe that's precisely why there's no loot, right? So to spawn this creature, we just need to go here and right click, okay? And that will spawn Kamoth. If I switch to survival mode, you'll see that Kamoth is super aggressive, okay? Let's see how much damage it does to me in full diamond armor. So far, he hasn't hit me once. I'm a pro, huh? Right now I'm being more, whoa, pro. Not so pro after all. He took half my health and almost killed me. Let's set the spawn point, okay? It's true I'm not wearing the most powerful armor or anything though. I do have the most powerful sword, and he wrecked me. Let's kill him with our fists. There he is. And these are the drops you get, okay? We're talking about the Oath, which is his weapon. The Crushed Soul Champion Belt. Okay, I can't equip this. The Music Disc, Steel Ingot, Status Flask, okay? And a bunch of drops. As I said, that's how you can fight the first boss. Alright, let me introduce you to the Grave Watcher, a mob that appears in the Fields of the Fallen structure, okay? It's accompanied by many others that would start spawning at night, or should anyway. In this structure, where you'll find much more interesting loot, like Dawn Slayers, status flasks, steel ingots, weapons, okay? And all of these items are found underneath the catacombs, okay? I recommend checking the bottom area one by one until you find different items like super enchanted apples and more. In this structure, theoretically, besides him spawning, other mobs should spawn too, but I'm not seeing them. But as you can see, the loot here is important. There's a lot of loot, so check everything thoroughly. So let's go after this creature. Let's see a bit what he... Okay, notice that even though I'm wearing one of the best armors in the mod, it still takes 2 health points from me, okay? I take 30 damage per hit, but I'm wearing, I repeat, the best armor in the mod, the best sword. We can see it's not a very aggressive mob. It doesn't rush toward me, but it does have ranged attacks, which is exactly what I was looking for when spawning these creatures, the Pale Hunts, okay? We simply destroy these types of creatures, and that's it. They're not too troublesome. They'll drop their rotten hammer and not much else, okay? So once we've destroyed this mob, the drops we'll get are the Cursed Soul, Status Flask, and Cursed Seed, okay? The cursed seeds are used to make new lamps, some crafting recipes and such. But we have the cursed souls, which we use to make a mimic chest. What's cool about a mimic chest? Well, if we take this item here, which is crafted by killing mimics, okay? For those who don't know what a skull mimic is, they're these creatures here. They spawn in all types of dungeons, specifically ones like this. And as you can see, they drop the mimic eye and slimy tongue. With those items, we'll craft the skull mimic. This, if we feed it cursed souls, the mimic chest, right? The mimic chest, where is it? There it is, the mimic chest, okay? If we feed this with cursed souls, we'll tame it. It's a creature with 250 health that nothing can damage, okay? Very few elements can hurt it, and we can use it as storage to keep our items. It will always accompany us, okay? Let's see, it teleports too. Yes, it teleports as well. We'll never lose sight of it, so we can rest assured this creature is a great way to store our resources, since nothing can damage it except ourselves. I'd like to know, you see, for example, the lightning didn't damage it, right? So you can see that no effects harm it, and even zombies don't go after it, so that's it. Alright, let me introduce you to Sunllaya. This creature here, basically, we're going to defeat it. It destroys everything in its path, okay? So you're probably wondering, where does this creature appear? Well, let's destroy it first. Now, this isn't just any creature, it's a boss, okay? And it appears in this structure called the Pantheon of Sunllaya. If we right-click on the Sunllaya Late, we'll spawn this mob, okay? Before anything else, be very careful, as it's super aggressive. We're talking about a mob that will attack its own kind, okay? And there are other structures where it can also fight, okay? As you can see, it took down my health really quickly, huh? Really fast, yes sir, okay? So be very careful with this mob. Let's try to get back to where we were, though I'm not sure if... There, just so you know, I was wearing the best armor and the best sword in the game. And even then I couldn't take down most of its health, okay? And you'll say, no, but you played terribly. Well, I don't know, you tell me how you'd play it. Yeah, having a shield would help, but honestly, this beast with the combos it hits you with, but, well, little by little you can lower its health, right? And, well, I just want to show you a bit what PvP is like against this beast, where it does dashes, different combos, which, again, if you had a shield, maybe, okay? Let's fix the sound. That was the issue indeed. You can use the structures to your advantage, okay? The pillars themselves will help us a lot, right? You can take cover behind them unless it pushes you out. And there we've defeated it. It shot a small lightning bolt there. Let's look at the drop. The Hoar Haruso Feather, Blessed Ingot, Essence of Sunllaya, Solar Emblem. Many of you are wondering how to get these items. The Horus, the Sunrise, right? The Hand of Sunllaya music disc, and the Divine Blood Vial. Many of you probably had questions about how to obtain these resources. Also, I should mention we have the complementary structure called Forgotten Sands, which is basically a pyramid that you'll be seeing. It's this pyramid right here. I've seen some people fighting Sunllaya in this structure in videos. I don't know if they made it up. Basically, the Sunllaya light I disappeared right here, literally on this block here. In the center of the pyramid. I think it's fake, honestly, because I've explored 4 pyramids and it hasn't appeared. So here, just so you can see, the sunstone golems appear, right? Basically, they'll drop linen cloth and blessed dust, which is also a highly sought after item. And if we break these blocks, we find Egyptian beer and lots of really useful items that we'll likely need with the smithing templates. You can expect more to spawn, like the Haruso, okay? The Harusos also drop interesting things like their own pant. If we go down, we can find the scorpion. Right there. Here they are. When defeated, the scorpions will give us the scorpion tail. I'm trying to show you the creatures a bit, okay? We have the sentinel, which obviously gives all kinds of sentinel drop. There are more Harusos. I'm just trying to cover all the mobs briefly, okay? So you can see a bit of the mod, even if it's rushed and without explaining what each thing does. So yeah, that's it. Alright, I'll show you the High Priest now, okay? Basically, these creatures are related to the Brotherhood, or more specifically, blood creatures. All of these are blood related, and they appear, interestingly enough, in the church, okay? In the church structure. It appears exactly like this. I have to say that the creator needs to improve the structure generation a bit. Not for nothing, but generating them this way. I understand they're large structures and you do it quickly, but it's not cool, okay? So here we have a bunch of creatures. Many of these can give us the blood vial, which is one of the needed items. Also, the ritual bone, which these weaknesses have given us, okay? I'm telling you, we also have the bloody mancer. Let's see what they drop. All these creatures, bloody cultists. We're also seeing the failure. There are a bunch of mobs that are honestly dropping very little loot. I'm going to enchant with looting 3. So anyway, how does this structure work? Let's check it out. This structure doesn't seem to have any big chests, or at least I can't find them, you know? It's great as a house though, since you can use it for storage and it's a really nice option. But for actual loot, well, there's a room here it seems, okay? After defeating this mob, you go down here and there's a room with various chests. Let's check the chest loot, and yes, fleshy cloth, see? Fairy dust. And other items like fairy dust, steel ingots, smelting templates, and ritual bones and such. So, we came here for what we came for, which is to defeat this mob here. I'll switch to survival to fight it, and I want to set a spawn point. Oh, the piglins are attacking me. Oh my goodness, I'll set a spawn point and then the fight begins. Well, as you can see, life drops pretty quickly. I'd like to set type inventory to true, and, well, as you know, I'm in creative mode, okay? Okay, here are the weaknesses, and I've lost sight of the creature I was fighting against, honestly. Oh, it's here, okay? It's the High Priest. Take that. Let's try to take as much health as possible, but without losing the drop, please. I'm going into creative mode, just because we've already seen the fight a bit. It summons creatures, attacks us from a distance, and now we'll attack it for real. Simply because I want to secure the drop. Although, well, no, there's no guaranteed drop since I used lightning. Okay, now I've got the drops, and it basically gives you the blood orb as a special item, a status flask, fleshy cloth, and not much else, okay? As a complement to the church structure, there's the cathedral, okay? They don't appear next to each other. I just got lucky, okay? And it's somewhat the same style. I don't think any boss appears here, okay? But just so you can see, it's basically the same type of construction, same type of loot, same enemies, okay? Here we're seeing, for example, the bloody cultists, okay? They're the same as before. And watch out, maybe there is a boss. Oh, there's a high priest too, okay? And additionally, the monarch table, okay? The monarch table isn't craftable indeed, and theoretically, well, it's not available yet. Oh man. But theoretically, it will have uses in the future, okay? So yeah, I just wanted to show you these two structures that appeared side by side and another one. But this one's different. Wow. Well, structures appear very regularly. As I said, the generation needs improvement. Alright, let me introduce the pyronite, okay? This mob basically appears in the Stronghold structure. Well, that's not the exact name to search for it, called the Blazing Fortress, okay? And basically, there's a variety of mobs here. Well, only 3 types, which are basically the pyronite. I found 2, one below and one above. The pyronite is a pretty tough creature, okay? When defeated, it drops quite a lot of loot. We'll see that now. It's very strong. As you can see, it takes hits well. My sword does 30 damage and the drops got burned. Wonderful. We also have the Infernus, okay? And we also have the Blazing Lady. All these drops and this structure here, we can find Molten Bones, which are Wither Bones, and all kinds of powers needed to make, for example, the Blazing item. Any type of blazing power can be found here, okay? Even the Blazing Core also. Oh yes, the special drop from the King is the Blazing Core, okay? For some reason, these mobs have decided not to drop anything for me, even though I have looting 3. But anyway, here we can see the chest, so I'm not making this up, okay? Then on the other side, at the top of the bell tower, okay? Here we have chests. Okay, we have blazers too. But above this structure, we have another pyronite, okay? That we can defeat if we want. And that's it. There's nothing else complementary to this generation, okay? Meaning, there are no more structures of the same type. Just this one to enjoy.